What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Lights, Camera, Keco. Dean, the Sex Appeal Dream Collects. Guys, we are coming at you live Friday, February 2nd, 5:16 p.m. It's pretty exciting. We are in February, the first show of February 2024. Very, very exciting. Keco is coming at us from the Crybaby Salon, which is going to be very, very exciting. Bringing back the guy lights after all this time. Dean the Dream has some sort of Insta filter on, and I absolutely love it. Dean,
I don't know what.
What is it called? Sepia? Like something like that?
Yeah, sepia filter. I don't know what. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't look that different, but
yeah. Well, I think it looks pretty good, dude. So, and honestly, guys, you're probably asking, first show of February, we're into 2024, new look, new me, right? Well, Keco's getting the guy lights. Well, I thought, you know what? I got a lot of comments of people saying that my take on Han Solo was solely because he had more hair than me. Well, you know what? I thought it was time to evolve, time to change, and I've done just that. So you know what? I think
proud of you, King. Proud of you.
Thanks, bro. I knew. You know what? Sometimes people need to tell you something, and then you're like, okay, I'm willing to change now. I'm willing to evolve and grow. And you know what? I took this one to heart, and I changed. And Keco, I think I might be more accurate than Han Solo at this point. What do you think?
It's entirely possible. I actually switched my mic to isolation. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. If I need to go back to standard, let me know. But I have voice isolation because I'm live here from Crybaby Salon, bringing back the guy lights, everybody. Because I saw an old picture of myself and I was like, hey, I need that look back. So it's coming, everybody. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm happy you're just in the Crybaby Salon. It's a pretty professional establishment, but
yeah, guys, you'll see once we actually get to the chair, like once she finishes up with her actual client, you'll see Amy working on my hair as we do this. So.
I can't wait, dude. I think that sounds great. So, and guys, I'm just fucking joking around. Don't get everyone all upset that I'm joking about Han Solo. We're gonna have a good time.
Send it around. Let's people.
We're gonna talk about Han Solo. We're gonna talk about Han, Keco. It's gonna be a good, productive, pleasant conversation. I'm just fucking around because there were some people that were essentially saying that I was upset I had no hair. Guys, I will just say for the record, I'm not insecure about baldness at all at this point. I will say that it's okay. It's okay to be bald. Male pattern baldness happens to many men, and I'm very okay with it. All you got to do is grow a beard, and you're fine, man.
Yeah, it says they say 1 in 3 male will experience hair loss by 35. So
I experienced it at 24. So yeah.
Oh wow.
It's about right. I mean, usually, well, like I wasn't bald. Like I can still grow plenty of hair. Just I have bald spot like right there. So it's just kind of like you just embrace. I mean, I don't now, but usually, yeah. But before today.
Trying to avoid the Hulk Hogan horseshoe.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The George Costanza.
Yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. So yeah. So anyway, so draw the line said Will now has too much hair. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Let's address this panel real quick. We may not address the chat today. Just we got a lot of topics to get to. We don't waste too much time. Dean, bro, how you doing, man? How's everything going in life?
It's going pretty good. No complaints here. Yeah. One of those
I'm
weeks,
still listening. Don't worry.
Things have been going well. So got a bunch of shit done I've been putting off, and I was just like picked a day and did a bunch of chores and
sounds good, dude. Well, I heard you're considering changing up your display as well. Your display case.
Oh yeah, that literally, like, as I said that on my computer, I was like, I should do this, and then you joined the chat like 2 minutes later. So
you were here super early, dude. I wasn't expecting to see you here. Like
I was less than 10 minutes early.
Yeah, that's pretty early compared to Keco and I. We show up usually right on time.
Yeah.
But Dean, it's good to have you, bro. We're gonna have some fun chats, and I knew you were the perfect one for the stream because, guys, we got some spicy topics for today. Of course, respectful and professional, but it's gonna be a fun stream. We've got a lot of news to cover, and we're gonna talk about all of it. Keco, coming at us live from the Crybaby Salon. How are things looking over there?
It's looking very busy, which is good for business. So that's all that matters. But I will not be respectful today because I don't care. And I will tell you my unfiltered opinions on everything. And I actually got a message from somebody saying, I can't wait to hear your rants. And believe me, I have plenty of them, because for all the people that sit there and talk shit and circle jerk in the comments and all that stuff, I got receipts on some of y'all. So
okay, well, good to know, dude. Well, we'll talk about it, and we're gonna have a good, productive conversation. And Keco's gonna lead that productivity, so it's gonna be pretty exciting. So, and we're gonna get to see Keco go live, getting the guy lights, which I can't get the guy lights at this point unless I grow my hair back out. But yeah, it can maybe be a thing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. Let's waste no more time. We got to talk about some really important things, and there's honestly nothing more that I would enjoy to talk about than Han Solo, because you know what? That's probably, it's funny because you know what, Keco? When I originally woke up and I did that preview video, I thought, yeah, I think most people are probably going to agree with my take on this one. No, turns out, well, actually, no, decent amount. So that video, so I can even show the receipts if necessary. That video is overall like percentage, like I think 80.5% right now. So that's a little bit lower than a traditional video on my channel. Usually it's like somewhere between 92 to 97. It just varies. But so this one's obviously lower. So there's a lot of people that are upset with me, but there's a lot of people who agreed with me too. But we'll bring up some of the results, the poll results. Everyone was mostly pretty respectful. There were some that were pretty offended by what I said. So I do apologize if you were offended in some way. That is my honest opinion. But you know, if you were upset by what I said, I do apologize for that. But that said, Keco, I gotta ask you the question here. I'm not gonna give my opinion on this one. I want to save myself for last year. I'm saving myself for marriage. So I want to get you first, Keco, to go, and then I want to get Dean to jump in. We got to talk about this Han Solo. But before we start, give a little context. I ran a poll. Most people agree the head sculpt is somewhere between an 8 to 9. 53%. So the vast majority of collectors are very happy with this head sculpt and overall prototype. There are some, you can see a combined 37% view it as a 6 to 7 or below, and then a 10%. So a lot of people love this too. 10%. And it's still a pretty high number. So Keco, I want to get your thoughts on this one. The Return of the Jedi Han Solo has been announced, and the community is very excited. But there's a little bit of polarization out there. Keco, give us your thoughts. Break it all down. What are you thinking about this figure? Is it a fail or is it a grail? What are your thoughts?
What blows my mind is the fact that people are missing the main point of this figure, the newly detailed hands. No one's talking about that. That is what matters with this. But I don't want to spoil everything because once we get to Catwoman, Selena, that's on the list, right?
It's on the list, yeah.
Okay. So I am absolutely flabbergasted at the fact of how people, even people watching this stream, that are so biased, and people will look at me and say I'm the exact same way, and they're like, well, hey, look at you, Hot Toys. Not necessarily, because everything is always Hot Toys sucks until it's a figure you want. And that's what I think is very interesting. And I think this is 100% a recency bias. That's kind of like one of the buzzwords that's been going around recently, is recency bias, meaning that if you are close to something, you will overlook any of the flaws because it's the recent thing. Okay. Now, with this being said, we have been talking for, I think 2014 is, so it's been 10 years since I think A New Hope Han was released. For 10 years, people have been clamoring for a new Han Solo, a Bespin Han Solo, just screaming, complaining. When are we getting this? People saying that it's all because Harrison Ford broke Han Solo on that Tonight Show and Howard Chan's mad at Harrison Ford. We're never getting this. And then we had that weird debacle with old Indy, and we still didn't get a young Han Solo, or sorry, a young Harrison Ford. So we have this finally presented. And if I didn't see literally every comment saying, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh, I just came in my pants. And I didn't understand it because, well, you sent it to me and I immediately snapped back to you and said, this is not good. This is not good. And
I didn't even have to say anything. You said it.
No. I think I sent you either one or two of the Han Solo gifts of him saying, hey, it's me, but it's not, because that's not Han Solo. From here, it might be, but we're talking about the hair. I think that is the biggest issue, and that's why you put the wig on, is because no one is talking about it. And I'll even talk about the head sculpt. I don't think it's as good as A New Hope Han. Everyone's saying, I can't believe it. You want to talk about how you're just in their pocket and only... this is a Hot Toys product that I'm saying an older Hot Toys product is better. So I don't see how in the world I'm still jerking them off at that point. So the wrinkles in the forehead are too deep. This is not Gordon Ramsay. All right. You do not need the forehead wrinkles that much. Yes, I've seen the screenshots of him going like, look, there's mine right now. See, there's that one where he does it. I don't want a figure with that expression. I think the expression's off. I think he looks too old. The nose is a little bit off. And I also don't like how his mouth is almost kind of open. It's a weird choice. But I do not think that this is the best Han Solo. I think personally, the younger Stormtrooper Han is the best sculpt for Han Solo. And I don't think there's any disputing that. Yes, this is cool because it has the purse system. You can move the eyes around. But if you are because you want a Han Solo so much, and because you're not willing to pay the secondary market prices for a New Hope Han or Stormtrooper Han, whatever, if you are overlooking this headpiece, and that's exactly what it is. It's a headpiece. That is a helmet he is wearing. That is not his hair. They really need to go back to the drawing board for it, because they've done good kind of moppy hair like this before. Look at the Willem Dafoe Goblin, things like that. The hairstyle is there. And well, this is the 70s. This is 1983 when this comes out. He's going to have... These are professionals. They can do a better... Yeah, see, even if you went back to that hair thing, I still think that is a better.
Well, Keco, here's what I said that I think people had a problem. I said this head sculpt is better. Update the paint apps, give them modern paint apps, and I think this is a better head sculpt. That's my point. In its current state, yeah, it looks obviously much more dated. But if you update the paint apps, the likeness, as far as that's concerned, I think would be a better head sculpt. That's my point.
I think that it is a six years from the time of A New Hope to Return of the Jedi in the theaters. Harrison Ford did not age that much in 6 years. Okay, 6 years. That's it. So it's recency bias, saying I have not had a Han. I need a Han. That's what this is, and I refuse to listen to anyone who said that that's not the case.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. But I mean, I think the likeness overall in this one is very good. I actually really do like the likeness.
It's not poor, but the hairpiece is very, very
The hairpiece is the problem. And people did send me some photos. I know I even talked to Justin and some others sent me some photos of Return of the Jedi. And I looked at them and I was like, okay, I mean, kind of, but I still feel like it's still off. Again, it looks like, and people said his hair was kind of helmet-like in the film. Yeah, kind of, but not like this. This looks like a big plastic blob. Like we talked about, Keco, someone had even thrown out the term Lego hair. I heard. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to me. And again, to me, my point is it's figure breaking. That's the problem, because the hair is a part of the likeness to me. So it's, it's the likeness. He looks a lot like Harrison Ford. It looks great, but it's just the hair. And again, if you like it, that's great.
But this looks like Harrison Ford from like Patriot Games or The Fugitive or something like that. This does not look like Han Solo's face. At least for me, it's not. And for everyone out there, you can have your opinion. That's perfectly fine. But and I'm not sitting here trying to ride Will's dick or anything or make him feel special just because he didn't like it either by any means. And it's not nothing to do with his hair, which is silly. But people are really not seeing the main thing here is that they skipped over Bespin Han for this. And I think that is the more egregious error. And I'd like to know why.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Dean? I want to have you weigh in on this. What do you think about this Han Solo? I mean, are you happy with it? Do you think it's a fail? Or, what do you think? Because I mean, guys, I think it's just one of those where we always have to be honest, even though if we know you're not going to agree with our opinion, we have to be honest about that. Because again, we wouldn't be authentic and you wouldn't respect us if we just bullshit you and tell you what you want to hear. So, I mean, I'm always going to be honest. I know Keco definitely is. So it's just, it's just how it is. But Dean, I know you are too, which is why I love you, bro. So what are you thinking about this Han Solo?
Yeah, I think overall it's pretty cool. Right, it's Han Solo. He's fucking awesome. I don't. It's too similar to A New Hope Han, just based on the outfit alone, right? The white shirt, the jacket, and the pants. The pants on the original on A New Hope are blue. These are brown, and the jacket on A New Hope is black, and this one's blue. It's a color swap, but it's pretty much the exact same outfit. Maybe the collar's a little different, but it's almost, other than the hairpiece, it doesn't feel different enough from A New Hope Han that like I'm tripping over myself to get it. If this was Empire Strikes Back Han, which everyone was expecting 2 years ago, that they teased in the Leia photos, I think this would be a much more figure to get excited about. Much, I worded that funny. A much easier figure to get excited about. Sorry. But again, it's Han Solo. He looks fucking awesome. The hair is it's not great. I think the likeness, I think the likeness is really good. I like the expression. It could have Empire Strikes Back to me, or I'm sorry, Return of the Jedi to me was Han Solo's like silliest movie. So the fact that his face isn't kind of smirky or cocky, it's a little like, okay, I guess, but Yeah, the hair just kind of to me, I don't know if it ruins the figure, but it definitely makes me pause a bit. But I do like the likeness. The outfit looks great. Again, it looks fantastic. The trench coat is a cool addition, and now you can have
looks.
Return of the Jedi, Han, Luke, and Leia all on the same shelf. That's always something to be excited about. So, it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's not Empire Han. That's what everyone has been waiting for. So,
right. Well, you got two styles of looks here, Dean.
Yeah,
so,
I do like it. I
think overall, yeah.
I have A New Hope Han, and like that's fine for me. Like I don't need to get this.
But my issue that I keep having is for everyone that said we need to try harder with this Toby sculpt. I can't believe it. Now it's just this is good enough. And I've seen people that were irate about the Toby sculpt saying this is good enough. Why is this one good enough? It's because there's 50 million Spider-Man and there are no viable Han Solos available. That is 100% what this is. And if you don't admit
like copium.
Yeah, it's copium because they're like, I need a Han. I'm not paying $700 for Han Solo. Either Hot Toys is mid and all their stuff sucks, or you need to call out what's good and call out what's bad. And so that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and to me, it's a matter. Look, Keco, I agree with you. I'm just going to be completely honest about this. And again, I'm sorry if anyone is offended by what I'm going to say here, but I believe it is an honest statement. I think people are so desperate for a Han Solo that they are willing to accept something that is still right. I said fail because of the hair piece, which I still believe and maintain, but it's really not up to where it should be because of the hair. The rest of it, fine. Likeness is good. Outfit's good, whatever. But to me, it's a major fail because the hair is figure breaking. And people are so desperate for a Han, and no one thought we would ever get one because we all said, there must be a licensing issue or something. They should have made a Han by now. They haven't. And I think that's why there were a lot of people that were upset about me and any other people that said that we don't like this, that it's a fail, because again, you're kind of in a way insulting a legacy character that people are really excited for. And again, I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade. And a lot of people commented and said they're getting this. I said, congratulations. That's amazing.
I'm going to get it too. I am. Because like Dean said, you're going to have
love it. Get the figure if you love it, man. I don't mean to look, I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade. I'm just giving my honest opinion. I'm just saying that I think people are very hungry for Han Solo. It was no different than Mace Windu. Like Mace Windu, this is a more important character. That's the only difference. Mace Windu, people were willing to accept, and they'll accept, which we'll talk about, some of the Padme stuff too, which I still like that figure overall, honestly. But Mace Windu, we all recognize Mace Windu is not up to where he should be. But everyone's going to buy it anyway because they're hungry for a Mace and they're desperate. And that's what's happening here with Han. I mean, this is a better head sculpt than Mace. The hairpiece is bad, but other than that, I mean, I think that's what I would say. Some people genuinely, I think, do think it's a really good figure. And I think there are plenty of collectors out there who believe that. And I'm happy for those people. But I do think if we're being honest, again, and any one of us could say this for any beloved character for us. I think there is some truth to the fact that we are pretty desperate for Han Solo, all of us. And this was something that came out of left field. So we want to be excited about it regardless of the issue. Which is fine.
And as I said, the main thing that people aren't talking about are the hands. That is exciting because
yeah, it's true.
And I'm not being silly. You want to talk about InArt pushing, the envelope when it comes to better hands and J&D showing their hands. This is good. It's better painted, better texture. They look like real hands because honestly, I've had to switch out some hands on some of my figures because they look like plastic for some other ones that are similar on some of the older figures. So this is exciting. I am happy for this.
Yeah, a lot more like posing options with these hands. Like it's not just like a relaxed hand and then like an I don't even know what they call that.
A gesture hand.
A gesture hand. It's like there's some like subtle variations, which is nice to see. I think the hands look fantastic.
Well, they got 7 sets of hands here. You can do a lot with that.
Yeah, 7 sets of hands, an environmental base, a Han Solo, which is a Harrison Ford likeness. I'm sure they're all for under $300 US. I mean, I think that is a win. That is a win for sure.
Right, exactly. And again, we can't discount that fact. Like overall, the likeness is good. You're getting a Han Solo. And again, I'm happy for so many people that don't have A New Hope that are desperate for Han that they're getting one. At the end of the day, again, I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade. I'm happy you're getting a Han Solo that you want. That's great. I would love to buy a Han Solo, but for me, like, I just think the hair is a miss. That's all. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah. So I would say, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I would phrase that. But anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments on the Han Solo figure. If you're picking it up, great. Let us know. I know a lot of people are. It's really exciting for a lot of people. So I'm happy for you guys. But I'm glad we were all able to share our opinions respectfully. Go ahead, Dean.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's important, when something gets shown, voice their opinions. And if enough people agree with you, maybe Hot Toys takes it back to the tweaking bench and works on it a little bit. We've seen that before, right? They've improved stuff in the past. So yeah,
that's true.
That's if you're in a minority, then no one's gonna fucking listen to you. So
exactly, and I very well might be, because most people are excited.
Yeah, like I mean, I have a lot of every time we talk about fucking Joker or the Bale trilogy, it's like I know I'm the only asshole out here who doesn't like it. Like I get it.
Not the only one.
I can still voice my opinions, right? So
yeah. Dean, I'll always accept what you have to say, but when you end up saying absolutely erroneous claims about the Dark Knight, I can't. That one is hard. And by the way, can I shit on Dean for a second?
Yeah, shit on Dean.
No.
No, okay. When was the last time he was on here? Like 3-4 weeks ago?
Probably a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember? I can hear your voice in my head specifically saying this, and you're like, "Oh, Pandora, such a beautiful game."
Oh, dude, shit!
It is a beautiful looking game.
I ended up going to pick Pandora up, and I've never been more disappointed in a game. I hate that fucking thing.
Visually,
yes. I don't even. It's way too bright, and it just does not do it for me. Like it just literally, like people just throwing like colors on a canvas and all that, and the gameplay is ass for one. And
because you didn't listen to me, Keco. Telling you,
I never played it. I just said it looks fantastic, like visually.
And you know what? If I really wanted to have a visual stimulation, then I should have gone to just watch Avatar.
Dean, I tried to tell him to play Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima, and he chose fucking Pandora.
Oh wow, Ghost of Tsushima is a go-to.
So, Dean, as I was picking, I was like, "Oh, Dean says this is going to be." I've never been. I'm going to end up spending more time wasted on that game than if I wanted to watch Avatar like 5 times through, and that's what's disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You could return it, right? Or no?
No, you can't return games. What world do you live in?
Sell it on eBay, dude. Sell that shit.
Maybe I'll trade somebody for some pre-orders.
Yeah, do something. We got some super chats real quick. Nick's Collectibles, thank you so much, bro. $4.99 with Will's opinion on Han Solo and JND's latest pre-order. I can safely say both of them are smoking some expired lettuce. So, so Nick, are you referring to my takes, or are you referring to JND and Hot Toys? Because those are two very different things. I need you to clarify your statement in the chat. But thanks so much, bro. We're going to talk about J&D. We're not going to get past that. I promise. We're going to get on to that. But thanks so much, bro. We're going to talk about the J&D thing. I put that in the title for a reason. So Carlos, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, bro. I'll be around. I'll be back around in August. Wow, big news to put a stop to Keco. This is madness. You can't complain about hair, but the black suit is a stretch. We'll talk about that, Carlos, because we got another super chat that I can see in the chat. So thank you so much, Carlos, bro. I guess we'll find out. Riley Reviews dropping a serious super chat. It looks like $9.99. Thanks so much, bro. Is it not hypocritical to say we are too critical on Toby? It always comes back to Toby, while saying Han needs to be fixed plus spoken about. Everyone called us too nitpicky till Toby released, and the whole 1/6 community trashed it. Which Toby are you talking about, Riley? Are you talking about Black Suit Toby? Because that
I'm assuming he means the Toby sculpt on the No Way Home suit.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember if he was talking about No Way Home Toby or Friendly Neighborhood or talking about Black Suit, because they've complained about both. So I don't remember which one they're talking about. But I don't know. I mean, to answer the question, I mean, I think the Black Suit thing, it looks fine to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Keco, I mean.
But, so if I may, Riley, love you, buddy. And you know that. All the love. But here's the issue, I think, is that for 40 plus years, outside of whatever Solo movie was, Harrison Ford has been Han Solo. They have had way too many versions of Peter Parker as Spider-Man. And so when you have one option for Han Solo, you have to get that right. And I understand that for a lot of people, Tobey's their Spider-Man, but for some people, Garfield's their Spider-Man. For other Holland's their Spider-Man. Harrison Ford is Han Solo. loved Alden Ehrenreich and all the work he did for the Solo movie. But we're not talking about that. But that, I think, is where you have to draw the line for that. Is that a legacy character of a show that literally, a movie that literally transformed history and culture? You cannot fuck that up. That's my thing. And I think that it is very valid to say that what we say about the Toby stuff, but that's why there's not as much backlash, in my opinion, of course, an opinion of one.
Yeah, because Toby's iconic, but he's not quite Han Solo. Yeah, could be that. I don't know. We could probably go a lot more into it, but honestly, it's a really good question. It demand like a whole topic. Like it's definitely a good question, Riley. But because honestly, also we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk. That is one of our topics. So I'm kind of saving it. We can bring that. We can loop back around. Yeah. So I guess we will see. So anyway, guys, let's move on to our next topic, which is actually Catwoman. Keco reference the Catwoman. We got to talk about the Catwoman because that actually released from Hot Toys this week as well. And we got to bring up the question, is this a quality release? Because you know what's funny, Keco? Originally, when the photos dropped, I think there was a lot of people that were really excited. And I'll bring those up as well. I'm going to lead a little bit with the more shocking one. There was one photo that was posted on Reddit of Selena Kyle Hot Toys with the mask pulled down. I'm sure you saw this, Keco. And this is one that I think a lot of people maybe were in a little bit of a panic about. Because they were like, well, if you don't put the mask and the goggles and all that on her, how is this figure actually going to look on your shelf? Which I assume most people are going to use the mask and stuff. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like Avengers Endgame Loki with the helmet or without the helmet, right? Are you going to really not use the helmet? Probably not. So, not the end of the world. But Keco, we got to ask the question, is this a quality release from Hot Toys here? Because I'd say this was an anticipated figure. I mean, this was definitely one in the mid-range, right? Like most people were pretty excited for it. A Catwoman, what was it? Is it 2.0, right? 2.0, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because they made the original one. And now we have a new sewer base and all that good stuff. But Keco, is this a quality release? I'll bring up the blogger photos as well. But in the meantime, what are your thoughts on it?
I led the show with this. And I was saying, it's amazing that people don't like this, but they like the Han. And that is where I'm just saying, I just do not get it. And to look at this and to say it's not objectively better than the 1.0 is foolish, because it is. It's 100% better. And everyone's like, well, it's a 1.1. I don't think it's a 2.0. All I did was change some of that. I think it's an upgrade. We have talked about how we want there to be lifelikeness, and we want there to be the upgraded paint apps, all those different things. And they did accomplish that with this. And how many times have we said, let's see it in hand? And who knows how washed out that picture really was that you just posted on Reddit. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying, taking pictures with, a grain of salt nowadays until you have it yourself to make your own judgment. Once again, choose your battle. But why are we choosing this one to be so mad about? And to say like, well, I like the old one better. It literally was a Barbie doll. And I saw the ones where they're like took the eyes out and put it on this version. And I would agree. I think the eyes are what's causing the issue here, because they're not wide enough, whatever. Maybe some people are saying it's Eva Green, who's another beautiful woman. But this is Anne Hathaway. It 100% is. And choosing not to say something about Han Solo when this is what you're upset about blows my mind. And yes, most people are going to have it down. And I think we've shown by the blogger photos even, looks pretty damn good with the mask down. And I'm not 100% sure. But actually, because I don't want to bury myself, I'm not going to say this thing I'm getting ready to say. Okay. So I'm going to hold that until I can confirm it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I would say overall with this figure, I really don't like the look of the hair, but I think the head sculpt with the mask off, to me, just based on that one initial photo, if we're just going off that photo, it's a little sus. But with the mask on, like this, for example, this unboxing here that's happening on the Planet 33 Hot Toys channel, so shout out to them. I think it looks great. I don't love the hair though. It's very Barbie-like, because this is Keco, this is very much the old Hot Toys style of hair, and it was part of a remnant of the past, right? So maybe you won't see it as much. You can style it, if you need to, but it has a mask and goggles on. It's a little more slick back. It doesn't need to be as styled as crazy, right? But it's still, I don't know if I feel crazy about it necessarily, but I do feel like it's not horrible. Yeah, it's not horrible. I mean, it's good, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Dean? I mean, where do you stand on this one? Where do you stand with this Catwoman here?
I've seen some pretty bad photos of it, but I've also own figures that look terrible and in any picture I've ever seen, and once I have it in hand, I'm like, yeah, this actually looks pretty good. So it's tough to say, but I'm not an expert on these movies. Again, I don't like them. I know I'm the only asshole that doesn't. But I mean, I think it looks fun. I do agree the hair looks a little dollish on some of the photos I've seen, but with enough futzing, anything could look fantastic. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I know the original one had a huge problem with flaking and stuff. So I'm not sure if they've addressed that with like a better material or whatever. But I don't know. To me, like I don't see a huge. I don't even know why they revisited this character. I really don't. Like the first one, like to me was fine, I guess. So I don't know. I really don't. I just don't like.
Well, because they remade all the other ones, they were like, why not? You know?
Yeah, I guess.
They were like, let's make it all consistent. It's like remastering The Last of Us, bro. Like, why not? They already remastered and remade the first.
Dude, they're doing it again.
Yeah.
The remastering part 2 just came out.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, how many times you got to remaster this thing?
Yeah, that's my point. Well, it's a legendary game, Keco. It's epic. So I saw someone comment earlier, it made me laugh. They were like, Will only knows 2 PlayStation games. I'm like, no, those are just the 2 that come to mind most often. I've played many others, but yeah, those are just the 2 that are iconic. So, but yeah, I mean, to me, I don't love the hair on this, but overall, I think the head sculpt with the mask on is good. It's really no different than the Loki Endgame, right? I mean, you take the helmet off.
I say even more so than the Loki in it, because this is her character. That's like the people walking around saying, well, it's her character to wear the mask. You know, why wouldn't you have that on there? So I'm like, well, I want the option to do it. Okay, great. You have the option to do it. And there's no other way to do the hair, Will. It has to be like this, because if it's too long, I mean, you want I keep saying the Aquaman hair because that's the one that I've always had the experience with, because you can't turn the head. That's the I hate that.
Yeah.
I saw a repaint of the sculpt posted by my buddy Bob Dylan. Great guy. It looked fantastic. I think that might be like the sculpt is there, because you were saying the portrait for you wasn't really like leave the mask on.
Of this one or the 1.0?
That wig's a little rough at the top.
It might have been the 1.0, but I could have sworn I saw it say 2.0. I'll have to double check. But yeah, not that you want to be fucking having to repaint fucking $300 figures, but I think that might be where the issue lies, is in the paint.
I think that's most Hot Toys, Dean. If you have, if they have a subpar head sculpt, you can look at that and be like, yeah, the likeness is good. It's the paint. That's, I think but most of their head sculpts are bangers. I've said this repeatedly. Like most of them are absolutely awesome. It's just, but I do agree. I see the comments kind of saying like her mask is an iconic part of the character. And I would agree. I think you're right, Keco. I mean, it's the same with Loki and Endgame. Like you're not really going to take the helmet off of him. I mean, it doesn't really make sense. So, for most people anyway, some might, but same with Catwoman, you're going to have the mask on her. So, and with the mask on, I think it looks great. So, the hair, again, I'm not crazy about. You could even look at some of the lines, I guess, with like the rooting hair here. It looks a little bit sus to me, but you're probably not going to notice that on a shelf day to day. So I don't really think it's going to be a huge thing. So, yeah, it's nice to have the option, like Carlos is saying in the chat, but to me, it's like, if you really want a Catwoman, yeah, I mean, I guess it's no different than Han, right? You're probably going to be willing to overlook it. So, so yeah, I get it. Like I said, I totally understand. I mean, with Endgame Loki, like that head sculpt to me is not horrible, but again, like maybe I'm, similar in that sense. I'm willing to overlook the the Loki, just because I love Loki so much. And with the helmet on, he's great. So
yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on the character, right?
Yeah, it depends on how much you like him.
People, I was talking about a figure the other day. I don't remember which one it was, but somebody was like, well, when are you going to get a better one? Or what other one is out right now that, and I was like, that's a good point. Like who else is, I mean, right now, I mean, that's the market, right? InArt, J&D, and now Hot Toys are all making the same fucking characters. Somebody said it a second ago in the chat, like someone's going to make Catwoman. Someone else is going to make Catwoman. But until that happens, you're not getting a better one than this.
Yeah, it's true. And Dean, you have to think about also, if J&D decides to make that, it's going to be $1,000. I mean, it's and
it won't articulate at all.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's a segue, Dean. Let's segue to J&D Studios, Batman and Bruce Wayne.
We didn't even
armor.
rehearse that.
Nah, dude, that was totally unrehearsed, man. That was just a beautiful segue. So let's do it. The J&D Studios Batman and Bruce Wayne Armory was announced recently, and they went ahead and announced the prices of these. It was $1,800 for the Bruce Wayne Batman and the Armory set, and then it was about, I think it was like $829, something like that, for the Bruce Wayne itself with the Batman bust and all that good stuff. So I'm going to bring up the actual video here of the Kojin Works, the 2-pack that they displayed here. So one thing to note, actually, I didn't even actually realize this originally when I had filmed the preview, because it was never really communicated. It was something that was said here and there, swappable arms, but I wasn't sure exactly that the Batman himself is not actually articulatable. He's not articulated, for lack of a better term, but Bruce Wayne is. You can move him around, you can pose him, you can do what you want. The Batman, however, is not. And the Batman can go with the Armory. But you also have to remember, if you're not in one of the countries where this is licensed, say you're in the United States, you're going to have to buy this from someone else. It's going to be more expensive than what the prices indicate up front. So it's not going to be $1,800. It's going to be more like $2,100 probably, or something, plus shipping. So more than likely, this is going to be a pricey boy. And we also have to factor in the Bruce Wayne itself is like $800+, probably at close to $1,000, not even rooted hair, and it's a Bruce Wayne. Keco, is J&D... Look, I understand the argument. I understand where people are coming from. J&D is not for everyone. They're not pricing themselves for everyone. They're not making figures for everyone. This is an 800 edition size figure set of each version. Type A, Type C, 800 a piece. I get it. But is this, to most of us, is this going to be considered overpriced? And is J&D going to survive with this type of strategy? What do you think, Keco?
I'm officially on the record saying that J&D is not for real collectors. Okay, no real collector in their heart of hearts would say, I am doing this. This makes no sense at all. When it comes to that price point, can you pull up that picture of the man, like where the picture they took from the moon that shows the just the simple, Bruce Wayne laying there?
Wait, which one are you talking about?
There's a photo. It's like, here's the offerings. The photo is as far away as you possibly, and it's literally just Bruce Wayne standing there with like two like swappable hands. Yeah, and it says it says like $830 for this.
There we go.
There you go.
After the advertisement plays. Yo, Stitch Fix, what's up? Free advertising.
So what I'm saying is that this is what is absurd. Look at that, $830 for that. That is insane. Now everyone's like, well, only real collector. No, this is not marketed to a real collector, and you are an absolute fool if you think that it is. And I'm going on record in saying that, because this, if you say that this is okay to pay $830 for this, plus all the other novelty taxes that played on it, that is just so out of touch with what anything is. Because here's the thing, well, if people will pay it, they'll keep it. That's the thing. If you continue to enable this, you're going to continue to get less and less offerings for more and more money. And is it a good strategy? We've already established they're not marketing to us, because for one, their stuff is not in English. It's not marketed to people. And we've talked about this multiple times on all these streams that, there's people outside of the United States. I know people, but this is for custom people that love their custom works. And if you want to go and get your custom work, then go, by all means, go do that. But to say that this is a collectible item for collectors, that's not true at all. And everyone's like, well, everyone's got $830 for that picture. If you can honestly, with a good conscience, say that is value, then I have some other things I'd love to tell you that is value as well, because that is some bullshit. And I do not care for what it offers for some silicone body. It doesn't even look like Christian Bale. Everyone's like, well, it's the best likeness you're going to get. I still don't think so. This is a 12-inch figure. This isn't a statue. This is a 12-inch figure. And everyone's like, well, I want the option to be able to do this thing. They're not giving you options. They're giving you a statue of a Batman with some swappable arms. You're sitting there being mad because you flip up the Catwoman mask and it's not the right look. This is okay. That is absolutely absurd. So I'm going to take, and actually I was just on eBay about 22 seconds ago. There is a lovely Alfred and Batman Pennyworth armory for $600. Buy it now on eBay if you're interested in a real armory for a real collector, because this is not for real collectors, and I stand by that. Absolute absurdity.
Dude, I'm so sorry, guys. We did not mean to be this negative today. We will get to some positive.
Well, there's
things
just
in a
so
little
much
bit.
bullshit.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
there is a little bit, but I mean, like, and again, I've said with the Han Solo thing, I'm excited for people getting Han Solo, bro. Fucking great, man. Han Solo, this is amazing. Everyone's getting Han Solo. You get a Han, it's great. But and with Batman, look, and I see some
I do it
people in
with
the
a
chat.
smile, though. I do it with a smile.
Yeah, exactly. And some people like you do. It's very, very, very charismatic as always. Bro. Same with Dean. But I will say with this Batman and Bruce Wayne, look, if you like this, man, go buy it. Great. Have a great time. I'm just saying that overall, and look, the Joker, it has to be the right character. Joker, I even recognize from JND is overpriced too. Let's be real about it. I mean, $1,700 for a figure with 2 head sculpts. I mean, that's a lot, right? So, with this armory version, the Batman non-articulated, it's just a lot. Yeah, so I'm trying to maintain as much positivity as possible, but we have to be real about this and say that for us, I guess everyday collectors, like this is something where this Batman just seems crazy to us. But again, maybe they're just not going after us, and I don't know. I don't understand the justification, but if you're gonna make it, why not?
Maybe they are not going after the average person.
Maybe if the Batman, why make it a power pose? Like I'm not sure.
Because you can't improve on a 1/6 figure that they already had. What could you possibly do? So they
from the Hot Toys, you mean?
Yeah, you can't really improve much on it. So they're like, well, in order to make sure this stays the way it is, power pose it because as soon as people start messing around with it, it's going to mess up and it's not going to look good to our quality and our standards. So they're like, well, we'll just lock it in. Nothing can go wrong if they can't move it.
Well, it's funny because the head sculpt is, I still think this is the best licensed Christian Bale head sculpt I've seen, but I still don't think it's right. It's really there. Like, I still think it's
not.
It's better. It's better than Hot Toys. I'm gonna be real about that. But I will say, for the price you're paying for it, non-rooted hair and $800+. And again, if you're in the States, you're paying probably closer to $1,000. Let's be real. So, it's a lot for a figure
that suit he's wearing is worth more than the actual suits you can go and buy for a human person.
If you and Keco, you and I are some of the biggest Dark Knight fans that exist.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
and even us, we're like, I'm not buying this. Look.
This is coming from the person that bought the Blue Bale Man. I like the film. This is absolutely absurd.
By the way, Keco, I think he told you. I told Justin not to tell you. Justin said he agreed with you when he got the figure in hand.
No,
he got the Blue Bale
this morning.
He got the Blue Bale Man, and he said he was like, actually, I think Keco was right. I was like, don't you tell him that.
I got the screenshot pictures. I got them.
So, but I'll see it when I come to Tennessee. But Dean, I got to ask you, bro. What do you don't even love the Dark Knight? Tell us what you think about this J&D here.
Yeah, I don't know who this is for. Again, the kind of J&D's selling point. Is this also one of those silicone head sculpts with the eyes and stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because I saw the hands on that. Sorry, excuse for a display.
Yeah.
It's a dude in a suit. Like, the hands don't serve any. Like, I'm paying a exorbitant premium for something I can't even enjoy. Half the pictures they show of this figure, his hands are in his goddamn pockets. Like, what the fuck? And then the Batman in the armory is a power pose figure. It doesn't articulate. It's like, what exactly am I paying for?
Joe Rogan.
I was gonna say we're watching Joe Rogan Cold Thunder.
I need to turn my ad blocker back on, dude. Fuck this. Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, it's just a weird. Someone's knocking on my door.
It's Kevin. It's not even Drago. Dang.
Yeah, Drago's at home.
Oh shit! I thought he was at the salon. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's a weird. It's a weird release because there's already 2 other armories you could buy. Right, the original Hot Toys one, which is from a different movie, and then the new Hot Toys one, and you can get them much cheaper with a marginal error of quality. I would probably venture to say. Somebody said I only collect Final Fantasy 7. I won't like this.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, it's $1,700, right, for the 2-pack, or what was it?
Yeah, it's about 1,800. Yeah,
for a 6-scale essentially statue and a figure. Just go buy a statue for that.
You get the armory too, to be fair.
A 3rd scale. It's like that's crazy money, but yeah, it's. I don't know who this is for, because if it's not for everyone, that's fine, right? I get it, but who exactly is it for? I haven't seen anybody that is like, oh, I can't wait to get this.
No, I will say
all the groups on all the channel. I haven't seen anybody.
I will say though, Dean and Keco, the head sculpt does look better from this angle. So it's funny. Someone made me. Someone dropped the best. I meant to pin it. I don't know if I did. Someone dropped the best fucking comment. I did a JND preview for this, and someone's like, "Will's gonna PO this next week," and I was like, "It do be like that sometimes." like with the Joker, Keco. Remember when I was like JND? I was like, "It's too crazy," and I was like, "I'm gonna pre-order it just to see." But
you are enabling this. This is foolish.
Is it? Is that what it is? Okay. No, I don't think this one's not gonna happen. This one's not gonna happen. I'll wait for InArt. So here's the thing, Keco and Dean, before we move on to our next topic, we'll address this really quickly. Is J&D actually pushing people to Hot Toys and InArt? Like, are they people seeing this and they're actually pushing people in the opposite direction? What do you think about that?
I don't know, dude. I think I wouldn't. I haven't, dude. I don't know what this is. Like, because people who collect 6 scale were excited for J&D to step into the ring, and now that they're here, everyone's kind of like, I'm just gonna keep buying the shit I was already buying. Like, InArt has proven to be a formidable opponent in the 6 scale ring. I mean, they're coming out with beautiful figures, masterfully done.
Coming out.
With, you know, a very, you know, the price tag on InArts isn't cheap either, but
no,
like quantity and quality is so much higher than.
Yeah, you can either
J&D has shown.
You can get 4 InArt figures from the Joker set before you could even afford this armory from J&D. Think about that.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, this does look good from a distance, though, I will say. But it's, you know, Christian Bale's proportions look a little bit off, but the head sculpt is good, but the proportions look off. Batman looks great, but it's a power pose. So what are you really going to do with that? So,
I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, yeah, take your time, dude. We got time. So we're going to address some super chats real quick while Dean is talking to some ladies, I think. So I think we got a few, actually. So, oh, yeah, let's see. Where was the last one? So excuse me, guys, while I find this. Like I said, Melon does not always make it easy. So we're going to address this one. Collector Joey, shout out to Collector Joey. Keco, are you going to the chair? Kiko's going to the chair. Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm addressing super chat. The last of mid.
I'm going to the chair, and there's Emma. You want to be on? Hello. Who is this?
I'm Lindsay.
This is Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
Yeah, they're all
dude,
talking here.
The chat, you guys got 228 people that are.
Yeah, you got hundreds of people watching you right now.
Yeah, so, exactly.
But yeah, Brooke is apparently going to start my hair while Amy finishes up her client, and then we're going to put the guy lights in. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.
That sounds good. All right, so the super chat. By the way, the last of mid adjusted for mid-man. So Joey, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. Someone, by the way, I got to give them a call out here. Justin, we were chatting. I told him I watched the Batman again, by the way, the Robert Pattinson one. And I was like, yeah, it was better, but I still think it's kind of mid. He told me he thought The Last of Us was mid. And I said, we, sir, are no longer friends. You don't say that to me. But no, he was like, I wouldn't play it again. I was like, bro, how dare you? But anyway, Carl Terenz Kalangi, thanks so much for $5. They didn't even bother putting the fabric undersuit for Batman. See, I didn't even notice that. But I'm going to take your word for it. So I'm assuming that's a J&D, probably because it's a power pose. But yeah, I'm glad too, because Lizzie dropped the comment. This looks phenomenal. I'm glad that Lizzie's enjoying it. Again, if you guys love the J&D, pick it up. Carlos dropped a super chat, and then we'll get on to our next topic here in a sec. Wait, when I said which company folds first, you said it was invalid. Now it's a valid topic. The audacity. Let's hear your excuse now. Next question. Next question. Carlos is very diplomatic, so we're gonna move on to the next one. No, honestly, like, it's just a question, like, after the Batman things, you know, we got to digest it a little bit, and now it's more of a valid question. So a lot changes in 48 hours. So let's move on to the next super chat real quick, and then we'll get to our next topic. So Carlos says, then we had Nick. Thanks so much, Nick.
Bitches.
It's crazy how they're charging premium for something they cut corners for. They literally scared down the 1/3 scale statue and called it. They did, pretty much. It certainly appears that way. It certainly appears the Bruce Wayne head sculpt looks exactly like the statue, and then the Batman looks very, very similar to the statue. So it kind of looks like what they did. So anyway, guys, let's move on to our next topic. We'll get to the other super chats we have in a sec. But we're going to move on to the next topic, and we'll come back to it. So let's talk about the InArt Joker, because you know, apparently I'm on InArt's payroll. That's what people have speculated in the comments from time to time. Dean, I don't know if you've seen that, but every once in a while, if I say something, which I've criticized InArt a ton, dude, But like if essentially, and Keco definitely has, who's on the stream every week, but essentially if I go in and I say something is wrong with the Hot Toys figure, they're like, oh man, you're dick riding InArt. And I'm like, am I though? Like, I feel like I've been pretty fair. Like, I feel like, yeah, no, I'm not getting any payments. I wish I was, but apparently I'm not. So, but anyways, let's talk about the Joker, because we got a 4-pack here. I want to share a couple different photos about what the options are. So we have a premium version and a deluxe version. I'm going to share the premium version first. So premium version, and the price will vary depending upon where you buy it. If you buy it from Spec Fiction, if you buy it from 1/6 Kit, you buy it from who else had this? Pop Culture. I think they have it because it's licensed in Australia. There are other places. This is Kit's price. If you use the code, it's $17.68. Code WillFox if you want to use it, or Will Joker. Either one will suffice. But $17.78, 4 figures, Joker and a base and all that good stuff. So Keco, before I let you go on this, I got to tell you a brief. I don't think I told you this. It's a brief, funny story. So I was in the chair getting tattooed, right? And I pulled up the photo. I pulled up on Kit the Joker because I was like, I got to pre-order it, but I got to decide which one I want to get. I couldn't decide, do I get the deluxe or do I get the premium, right? So I pulled up the premium, ran it all through the cart, and I was like, okay, well, this is kind of what it looks like. Have some rewards. Let's use that. And then I had it on the final page. I was like, I'm just going to leave it for now, not mess with it. Maybe I'll get the premium, but let's just think about it a little bit. So I was in the tattoo chair. I was getting tattooed, starting to get a little painful. My iPad slips and I clicked the pre-order button, and I accidentally clicked it and I placed the order accidentally. So
is that a real story, Will?
It is, I swear to God, bro. That's exactly what happened. I brought it to the last page of the order thing, and then I was getting tattooed and the iPad slipped and I ordered it. So that's how you pre-order sometimes. But I was going to get the premium anyway, regardless. I just think it's a funny story that I accidentally ordered the Joker. But it worked out. Keco, it is a real story.
That's the will of the force, I suppose.
Literally, dude. So anyway, Keco, are the 2-packs and the 4-packs, are they actually a good value? I heard the idea floated around. The 4-pack's not that great of a value if you're not going to have room to display them all. But what do you think, Keco? I mean, we got 4 figures, we got 2 diorama bases, a little magnetic base in there for $17.78 shipped. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm ready to suck that big old InArt dick right now, because I am digging this, and I have pre-ordered my premium. Premium's the 4-pack, right?
Yes, premium's the 4-pack.
Yeah, so I have pre-ordered my 4-pack, and I do think that it is beyond fair with what we were getting, because originally we were thinking we were going to maybe get 1 figure, maybe 2 for $1,000 plus or whatever. You're getting 4, and I think most people agree that the bathroom scene is the absolute probably best of the 4, and that's the one, if you did try to part it out, that you'd end up getting the most from. So that's probably the higher value piece. And for me, I'm looking at this, I'm saying, okay, this is the evolution of Arthur Fleck to Joker. I mean, cool, that's awesome. But you're getting 2 brand new figures for additionally like $300 a piece, which you're not going to get from Hot Toys even. So you're barely going to get that from Hono. So yes, it is a great value. I don't see how in the world you can look at that and say it's not. Let's just say on average, let's even say you're going to go and get it from the most expensive spot, $2,000 out the door. You're still looking at $500 for a premium rooted figure. And to say that that is not a value based on what InArt has done and put out. Now, granted, this is 2025 Q1. Who knows when and where that's actually going to end up being and when we'll end up getting it. Hoping for the best. I pre-ordered, day 1 to make sure I'm at the front there, if that's how it works. Do I need to move? Okay. So yeah, to me, I wouldn't want to just get the standard one, because if you're paying that much already, why not just go and get the superior figure and have a little bit of bonus stuff if you do decide to want to part it out later. That's my opinion.
And Keco, if you're going to get the bathroom one, you need the premium version, unfortunately. So
you do. So yeah, and I just don't see anything going wrong with getting the premium for me.
Yeah,
which that was my mindset.
The only thing to me, Keco, and I mentioned this, I don't know if I mentioned it to you or not, but essentially the downside would be price and space. If you don't have space to display 4, don't get the premium. I mean, to me, that's just my opinion. Like, or if you don't have the money, you don't want to spend $500 extra. Like that's
sure. Well, for InArt be damned. I mean, we have all you need. Let's be honest. A $300 deposit, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
It is. Yeah.
So, but you have 18 months, potentially 2 years to get the rest of it, to figure out so I don't really think money is something that you can say is a reason to not have it. Now, I understand if you're budgeting way out, but if you can't find, if you're in this collecting game and you can't decide, okay, I'm gonna forego 2 figures or whatever for the next, 2 years, then I don't know what to tell you, honestly.
Right. I can't.
Bro,
Keep, I'm just laughing.
A fucking haircut
getting a literal
midstream is
haircut.
wild, bro.
He's getting a haircut during a live stream. I've never seen this done in 1/6 before.
Well, you know Brooke of Brooke and Jaime.
Yeah, Brooke's amazing, dude. Brooke's the best. Yeah, Brooke's the best. So guys, shout out to Brooke in the chat. Give Brooke a shout out in the chat. She's amazing. Wait, Keco, what is her does she have an artist name that we could
yeah. Let's play. She's an incredible singer, and we can give you her Spotify lists as well as and all the links to her music videos and things like that. She's absolutely incredible. But what's your actual account thing? Because is it Brooke Shooketh or?
Oh, it's I am Brooke August.
Oh, her.
I am Brooke August.
Go check out I am Brooke August.
I am Brooke August, guys. That's where you go.
Yeah, so if you love an unbelievable girl that knows what she's doing, that's this girl right here.
That's
someone said, ask her to style your InArt Joker. That's funny.
Well, that's what we joke about that. They say take your figures to salons to get it fixed. So would you have? Well, we're gonna ask the panel here right now, Brooke. Would you ever style one of these figures? Like if they said, "Hey, fix my doll."
Brooke's like, yeah, no.
She said it would be fun, so
she would do it. Okay. Yeah. Would she charge you, Keco? Ask her that.
I don't think she'd charge me, but if someone brought a doll and said, "Fix my doll's hair," how much would you charge for that?
That sounds.
Okay. Did you hear what Amy just said?
What did she say? You muted.
She said, that sounds like an upright shampoo. Because so apparently, did we tell you that story, Will?
No, dude.
Okay, so being in, I guess, the hair world, you have all kinds of interesting people come through. So someone requested they wanted to get their hair cut and to have themselves shampooed, but shampooed in a way to where it was kind of like a kink type of thing. And she's like,
yeah, you told me this. Yeah.
Like, we don't do that here. You might be better off at a better place. So she's saying styling doll's hair is almost in line with that. So
it's
gotcha.
A random person.
Well, Dean, I gotta let you hop in, Dean, because Keco's been a madman right now.
This is getting wild, y'all.
I know this is getting real wild. Dean, give us your thoughts, bro. Are the 2-pack and the 4-packs good value at the current prices and the offerings? What do you think from InArt?
$1,700 is a lot of money, but you're getting 4 fucking figures with rooted. They're rooted, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, all rooted. Yep.
Well, one of them has a little clown hat on.
Yeah, I mean,
I doubt he's rooted underneath.
Right.
But I mean, I've seen people spend that kind of money on one rooted sculpt. So, again, it's a
and usually those customs are ass anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's like, oh, look at my custom. It's no offense to custom artists out there, obviously, but like to say that it's better or worse, I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's rooting is a very expensive and very hard thing to achieve to make it look well or look good.
Yeah.
And InArt has the fucking, track record. When they first came out, I was like, I don't know, guys, it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. But every time they release a figure, they shut me up. So, moving forward, I'm like, you know what, dude, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. This is going to look fantastic. So you're getting 4 figures for $1,700. The 2-pack versus the 4-pack. The 4-pack, I mean, you really gotta fucking love the movie to want those 2 extra scenes that are
the bathroom scene is the scene, man. I think they knew that. I think that's why they packaged it that way.
Is it though? I mean,
yes, that is the scene.
Besides the Murray Franklin scene. Murray Franklin scene is the scene.
Yeah, I feel like the Arthur Fleck and the regular or the end scene suit is perfect for the 2-pack. It's like you want something to represent the movie. You got both versions of the character. That's good. Here you go. 2-pack. You still got the 2 bases. So there you go.
Damn. Look at that shot though, Dean. Look at that photo.
Yeah, that looks great. Like objectively, that looks fucking fantastic.
I do wish we would have had one. Sorry, dude, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. So I mean, if you really love the movie and you want that iconic scene in the bathroom, it's like, hey, you got to get the 4-pack. Like that's, is like I think it's a fair, expectation to set in terms of InArt. Like, hey, if you really love this and you gotta have it, like you're gonna have to buy the premium. But for people who don't, really, trip over themselves for this stuff, but you still want the representation on your shelf, here's the 2-pack. They were saying that the licensor had like price limits, like it could only be this expensive.
Right.
How do you do that? 2-packs and 4-packs. That's why there's no single packs on this.
Look at that head sculpt though, Dean. The bathroom one.
And it looks pretty fucking good. Like
It
it
does
really
look pretty
does.
fucking good.
Like, I'm not. Wow, someone called me out.
Let me start dick
What
riding
do
in.
they
Again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kiko, what were you gonna say?
I was just saying, like, Dean's about to pre-order right now.
Yes.
No, in fact, again, I know I'm the only dude. I'm not a huge fan of this movie. I really
Damn,
like.
Dean.
It was a good
you only
movie.
like Final
What do
Fantasy
you
VII?
like? You don't like this? You don't
You
like
only
the
like
no,
Final
What
Fantasy
do you
VII,
like?
dude.
Hold
That's
on. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just an uncomfortable watch.
It is 100%.
He's fucking crazy as shit in this movie, and it's a weird movie. And like I saw it once. It is good. If I never see it again, I'm not losing any sleep over it.
I mean, it is a really good movie.
That's absurd, Dean.
Somebody said if this was Sonic, I'd be pre-ordering it right now. How dare you? Who was that? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
dude. Honestly, though, it looks great, man. I'm happy for everyone who's picking this up. I'm getting the 4-pack. I don't know if I'm gonna have room to display all 4. I doubt that I will, to be honest. So I'm gonna go with probably display 2 at a time. Maybe I'll part out the other 2 or just hold on to them. But you know what, Kiko? You know what I'm displaying? Red Suit Joker and Bathroom Joker. Those are the 2 that are getting displayed. If I only have room for 2.
I am happy that they give you the little red nose because I saw the Arthur Fleck picture with the little red nose on it, and that's honestly the way I'm going to do it. That way I have 4 clowns.
Yeah, it does look pretty great, dude. And that's even a cool ass shot right there. Him sitting like.
Oh,
dude.
it was Marco who said that. That don't count.
Oh, dude, look at that. I still think it could be a little bit better, but it's really fucking good. That's really good. So yeah. So yeah, look, like we'll dick ride when the dick riding is justified. Okay. When there's a dick to be rode that's fair, then we will do it. So,
And I'll ride this one all day.
Yeah, like again, the fact that I'm not a huge fan of whatever InArt has come out with, say for Gandalf, and I still think it's pretty fucking good. Like that, I feel like that says something. Like,
yeah, it does.
Like, objectively, their product is fantastic. It looks good. It's a little expensive, but I feel like you're getting your bang for the buck, especially with InArt.
Right.
If it was a $1,700 4-pack Hot Toys, I'd be like, ain't no fucking way.
Yeah, it's true. We got another super chat from Carl Terenz Kalangi. Thank you so much, bro. J&D is charging Ferrari money for Lexus quality. Yeah, could be the case, bro. Thanks so much, bro, for the thoughts. That's a great thought. I mean, honestly, I think the community right now is a little bit hesitant with J&D, unfortunately. As great as their products do look, I think the prices are starting to scare some of us away. But again, maybe it's not for us. I don't know. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. That said, we got a couple more super chats and we'll move on to our next topic. Lizzie, thank you so much, Lizzie. $5 super chat. I have been persuaded to get this InArt Joker 4-pack. It's just too accurate. Love that, dude. Love that. Happy. As long as you have the room to display it, Liz, that's what I always say. Because some people I think are buying it because they think it's a really good value, but they don't have room to display all 4. For me, it's for review purposes. If I didn't have the review that I was thinking about, and of course, other things in regards to the channel and things like that, I probably would have gotten the deluxe, to be honest. As much as I love the bathroom scene Joker, it's amazing. But if I don't have room to display all 4, I mean, you could always part them out. But if everyone's going to be doing that, how does that go for you? So yeah. But the 4-pack is great as long as you love the movie, which I do, and have room to display them, which I don't. But I'm going to make it work. I can alternate too. Murray Franklin Joker will always be in there, but then maybe the other one can get alternated. Carlos, super chat. I don't know what this means. I'm afraid to pronounce it because I'm going to sound like absolute horrible. But Transquilito Collects. I don't know what that means. Transquilado. Dean, what does that mean? Do you know what that means?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, Carlos, you're going to have to translate that one for us. But I appreciate the super chat. Nonetheless, let's see here. So adapting chaos. Thank you so much, bro. Karen Cuts. Karen Cuts. That's actually a pretty good name. Maybe Kiko should change over to that. Kiko, we got some other super chats that are addressing your haircut as well. So Anarchy Braun said Kiko is getting shit pushed back. Joke, clean cut. Dude, it is a clean cut right now. Kiko's looking pretty fresh right now. Pretty fucking fresh right now. So it's looking great. Brooke's doing a great job. So guys, follow Brooke August. So Carlos, how much to shave your head, Kiko? Do you have a price that you'd be willing to do that for?
No, I will never shave my head.
Okay. Okay.
Nope.
So Carlos, you cannot bribe this man. So not even a 4-pack Joker would get the job done. Mark Attack is also asking Keco shave it all off. So Mark Attack, thank you so much, but I don't think Keco is responsive to the messaging. So I don't think it's gonna happen. Anyway, guys, I think that's all of our super chats for now. So
I tell you what, $50,000, I'll shave it.
All right, guys, $50,000 super chat. You heard it first.
Yep.
Carlos, drop the 50K.
$50,000.
50K. And Keco, I'll give you the super chat if they drop a 50K super chat, because that wouldn't be fair for me to keep that. That wouldn't be
Well, I appreciate it. So
Yeah, so you
let
get
us
the
know
50K.
if you want Brooke to shave it. 50 grand.
But YouTube will take their cut, just so you know.
Oh yeah. Apparently, I'm upping it to I'm upping it to 65 simply because I have to share it now with people.
Yeah, you got to share it with YouTube. So 65. Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to our next topic. Hot Toys Padme. People are excited about this one. It is released. The question is it more Natalie Portman or is it more Millie Bobby Brown? Because originally when the prototype was in Dean's face, because when the prototype was shown, that was the common criticism. A lot of people said, this looks like Millie Bobby Brown. I don't like it. I actually liked the prototype. And when I saw the final product, I thought, honestly, it was pretty good. The neck thing threw me off. When I saw this sideshow unboxing today, it's like, something seems a little bit off with the neck. Maybe it could be a futzing issue. Who knows? Certain angles, it looks better than others. But, we got to ask the question. From a scale of Natalie Portman to Millie Bobby Brown, Keco, where do you land on this Hot Toys Padme from Attack of the Clones that was just released by Hot Toys?
I remember when they said that they were trying to get Millie Bobby Brown to play a young Leia in some of if they wanted to do like a prequel to this, you know what I'm saying? And they honestly considered her, she's a perfect young Carrie Fisher. Yeah, I guess. And that makes sense because her mom looks just like her here. I would say it's half and half, honestly, because I think the Thor Natalie Portman looks better than this, which is funny because it's from the same company. They're just changing the hair. So am I not getting it? Of course not. I have to have it. It's the only Padme we're probably ever going to get. So I wanted to make sure to have that. My biggest issue is that there's not the battle damage look. And maybe that's too scantily clad women. You can't do it that way. I don't know. Maybe that's not appropriate. Yeah. But even the people say, well, I'm going to customize it. I was like, well, okay, but then you're going to have that typical ab crunch torso thing. You need like a full silicone torso to make that look right, which this is not going to have. So why even do that? But I'm excited to have it. I never thought we would see the day. And here it is, weeks away from, being in my collection, hopefully. But it's Natalie Portman, but it's also not Natalie Portman. And that's the final answer.
Okay. So it's like, it's good enough though. It's good enough.
Yes, it is good enough. And I know everyone said like, oh, here we go. Here's another thing where it's good enough, but the other one's not good enough. You still can't compare Natalie Portman to Harrison Ford. I'm sorry. You're just not going to.
Right. Yeah. It makes sense. Well, Dean the Dream, fill us in on your thoughts on this Natalie Portman / Millie Bobby Brown figure. Where do you fall in this?
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good too.
I don't think any head sculpt is 100%. And we've seen some really good head sculpts. This is not 100% Natalie Portman for sure. But I don't see anybody else in the sculpt.
But that shot, Dean, that's pretty good.
I think it is. I think it's like a B plus. Like
right.
It's
like
not
an 8.
bad. It's pretty good. I think it looks better than the prototype, which is not usually something that happens. Sometimes, most of the time, it's usually worse. So I think they probably went back and fussed it a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. I think it looks pretty good. I can't wait to get it. So that should tell you.
Oh, so you are getting it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Dude, you gotta get Padme.
I thought you only collected Final Fantasy 7.
I was gonna say put it right next to your cloud figure.
Yeah, there you go, next to the cloud. See, Keco knows the Final Fantasy 7 characters. He knows.
Bro, I only. It's because I don't show my other collection, but I only have fucking like 100 Star Wars figures.
Are you even a real collector, Dean?
Yeah.
Okay, because you got to flaunt it if you got it. You know this. So these are the rules. So. Yeah, but anyway, so I'm glad that people are, picking this one up. I think it looks pretty good. The eyes look like the irises look a little bit big to me. But, you know, again, that's a little bit of a nitpick. I think the likeness overall is pretty strong. I said this from the prototype. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it's perfect, but I'm with you, Dean. It's like an 8.5. Like some angles, it looks really good. I think it definitely looks better with the scarf, though. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that looks fantastic.
No, I don't need her looking like the nun from Sister Act. No,
not that. No, you put the headpiece down. Like you put it like this, Keco. I think that looks good. Like this. That looks pretty cool. But you don't put her in the Whoopi Goldberg look. No, you don't put her in that. Like Sister Act. Sister Act. You don't do that.
By the way, Sister Act 2 is one of the best like sequels ever made. Like I watched it, like it's just a happy, fun movie.
It's Terminator 2 level for sure.
It is when it comes to like feel good family comedies.
Exactly. It exactly is. It is. So
do you have the picture of the sideshow where they were doing the
the unboxing?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It was a video. There was
a video. But there's the neck thing I was talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking like the outfit from the waist down looks a little baggy. Maybe I don't.
Yeah, maybe a little
this
bit.
Picture is just bad.
Could just be futzing, you know.
Oh, yeah. I think I was saying the crotch grabber. It looked like clothing. Okay, I was like, I remember her outfit being a lot tighter, but that might have been my fucking 13-year-old brain playing tricks on me. It's been a while since I watched episode 2. I think it looks fucking good, dude. I like it.
I think it's pretty good. So I'm glad that people are liking it, and you know, the neck thing is a little bit of a concern, but if you put the scarf on her, I think it looks good. But no Sister Act thing. We're not doing that. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. Keco, the hair is looking good, dude. It's looking really good so far.
Yeah, they're having a consultation back and forth.
It's really good to the texturizing shears.
Yeah, so my hair responds good to texturizing shears. If you can't hear,
I thought that you meant they were talking about Padme. I was like, that's it.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Mark Attack is asking very positively. He's like, can we solo Keco's screen? Let's get an update on the haircut. I think it's looking pretty good. Keco, I think your hair is responding pretty nicely. Yeah. I think your hair does respond pretty nicely to the gel and all that. When I used to have hair, I used to use gel. People forget about that, but I did.
Were you a Dep 9 kind of guy?
What is that?
Do you remember that?
What is that?
Dep,
what is that?
Oh man, Dep 9 was like when I was in like freshman year in high school, everyone had Dep 9 hair gel. That was it. That was the
shit. I don't even remember. It was like in a red, was it called Osis or something? It was like a red can. It was pretty good. Whatever my hairdresser was, shout out to Debbie. She was my hairdresser at the time. She cut my hair and she gave me that. She helped me get that gel. So it worked pretty well. So now I don't even need it. So it's good. You got the beard oil and stuff though. That's pretty important, but I don't really use that as much. But Kevin's here. Dude, no Drago, but we got Kevin.
Oh, big yawn from the baby.
That is a little bit. He looks like a fox, Dean. Yeah, he looks like a wolf.
This may be the first time I've ever seen Kevin.
You haven't seen Kevin on stream before?
I've heard him multiple times. I don't think I've ever seen him until now.
Dude. Kevin's an absolute gem. Look at him. He's cleaning Dean. He's a good son. So let's talk about a couple things, guys. You know, we got some time, I think, for a couple more topics, and we're going to get into some of these. So let's talk about this. We've covered our news for the stream. So let's talk about this. This is something that's been I guess trending in the community lately, not just with Han Solo, but as far as other things as well, other figures, other releases, just updates in the community, the constructive criticism thing. Let's talk about like, where do we really draw the line with that? Because I think there's been some important conversations that have happened recently about what people consider to be nitpicky, what people consider to be justified criticisms, and where sort of that healthy compromise is. And this is why I wanted to address this topic so we could have this discussion and get the chat to weigh in too. Like, where do we really draw the line? Like, what is acceptable criticism and what is beyond reasonable expectation? So, Keco, I want to let you weigh in first on this one. What do you think? What should we do here? Because this is something that we always sort of grapple with in the community. What are your thoughts?
Well, first off, I'm not going to be hateful. I want to say that because if everyone thought I came out a little bit hot and hard when it started. We love everybody here because dropping it in 30 minutes on the channel is what to expect from collecting coming up soon. And that's one of the things I said.
Okay.
New video. Sorry. And so that's what I came to say is that it is part of the collecting expectations that there will be criticism. There will be complaints, sometimes lots of them. And that is okay because that fosters conversation and socializing. All that stuff is what builds civilization. I'm for that. And one of the things I said is that in the actual video, so spoiler alert, is that we need to make sure that we never take the criticism of a product and have that bleed over into the criticism of a person. That's where the line is drawn. And we can sit here and talk about, and I understand that there's artists attached to the end of these products, and you're shitting on the artist at that point. I feel like there's enough, levels of detachment from that to where we're not insulting the person. We don't know these people. I mean, and it is their job to produce this. So I feel like that's a fair criticism. So all that to say is that with this option to say, okay, how critical can you be? You can be as critical as you want, in all honesty. You can.
Yeah.
You can decide whether or not it makes sense to you, but your criticism may not be the same as somebody else's, and that is fine too. There's maybe some things that you say, I'm going to die on this hill, that someone else is saying, I don't really see it being that big a deal. And that is fine too, because that fosters the conversations. And that's what I want to keep people doing, is having the conversations and explaining it and being able to intelligently explain it, but without being demeaning. Now, for me personally, Will, I think we've said you and I are a big fan of the head sculpts. And so if it doesn't look like the person, I don't care what they're wearing, because most people don't say, okay, yeah, boy, that's a great person. I love that jacket they have on, or man, they really nailed the shoes on this one. That's just, to me, I don't feel that. For others, they may feel that way. So to me, I just want to make sure that we are always having the conversation, explaining why, be constructive about it and say, okay, here's why. And Nick and Riley know that I love them dearly. I hope you guys both know that if you're watching, and I message you guys every day, but you guys know that I love y'all. And I am happy that you are so passionate about the Toby stuff. And that is good, because that is your Spider-Man. So if the abs aren't right, look, there's Amy. If the abs aren't right, let us know. If the hair is not right, then let us know. If the face, all that stuff is good. Where the issue rises, I'm sorry for all the talking here, is that when it comes to the issue of saying, okay, it's always going to be subjective. If you don't want the thing at the end of the day, you don't have to buy it. And I think I think that's logical at that point.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. It makes sense. Well, yeah, I think that makes sense, bro. And the comments are making me laugh, dude. People are saying I reissue topics more than Howard. I was like, dude, I don't remember. When did we talk about this one recently, Keco? Was that like last week or something? I don't even remember all the time. But I try to bring up new things as often as I can. You guys want, and remember too, Keco, you said with the J&D topics, and the chat said so too. When I did J&D topics, they were like, Will, cut out the J&D topics. And now I'm like, we'll do a different one. They're like, we don't want this reissue topic.
The reason that because a lot of our shows are built on the community and what people are talking about. If people are continually talking about head sculpts and all that stuff in the comments, we're probably going to be talking about it as much as I don't want to talk about what's going on in J&D. People are talking about it, so that's naturally where we're going to drive the news from. So
yeah,
if y'all don't want to hear something, stop talking about that shit.
There you go. Keco, the hair's looking real nice right now. It's looking great, dude. Anyway, Dean.
They're slaying this.
They are slaying it. They are slaying it. Check out Brooke August on Instagram. And of course, Amy. If you
no, it's check out. I am Brooke August.
I am Brooke August. Yes. Yeah. I am Brooke August. And of course, Amy eating on TikTok for the mukbang.
Correct. With my favorite brunette is hers.
Yeah, it's my favorite brunette. Okay, so Dean the Dream, bro. Kevin disappeared. I don't know where he went, but I need you to answer this question for us. Where do we draw the line on 1/6 scale criticism? What do you think about this? Where do you fall?
Yeah, I think Keco kind of nailed it. It's really, I mean, how much do you give a shit about that character, right?
Right.
Like Zach with the fucking Gandalf pant print thing.
Yeah.
I know it's like a meme in the community at this point, but it's like
Zach is hilarious, bro.
To Zach, that was something that was very important. And other companies that aren't as nice as InArt had that. So it's like you kind of expect it, right? Especially at the price point.
Yeah.
We're spending a lot of money here. I think you have a right to your opinion. People like it's going off in the chat right now, the fixed black suit.
Yeah, because Riley hired all of his friends to come in the chat and post that fucking hashtag.
Which is fine. Like, to them, that character is super important. To me,
yeah.
I don't really know what they're talking about when they say that. Like, it looks like a good Spider-Man figure to me. Like, I don't know. I'm not the expert, so I will go off your opinion if you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But something like the Han Solo, to me, that's a little bit more important. I know that character and that figure. So it's going to matter a little more to me that the hair looks weird, but somebody else might just want a Han Solo on the shelf and don't feel like spending the exorbitant prices for the other ones right now. So it's good enough. Yeah, I'll take a Han Solo, right?
Yeah.
I saw some wild stuff in the chat over the InArt Joker 4-pack. There was a dude in the comments talking about the button sizes. I was like, bro, that is.
So that's where you draw the line. Then.
That's
The
a
button
little.
size.
I mean, dude, especially at 6 scale, getting a button size,
And,
like
and that's
is,
what I've said is that there's some things that just do not translate to that scale, and the company
Right.
has to adjust to that.
Yeah, it's.
And I really don't think that some of these companies are being negligent and saying, let's make this as inaccurate as possible. We know it needs to look this. Maybe they're like, okay, we don't have the tools or the technology to do this. And I really believe that's behind some of it. I don't think anyone goes into and say, okay, let's half-ass this. You know, some of them do. I mean, people half-ass their job all the time. Not these two lovely ladies. They're killing it. But
they are killing it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kiko, you gotta give them a good tip, bro. 100%.
Yeah, like I saw back when InArt showed the Superman, and Daniel had posted some critiques. I don't know Superman like that. It's like if Daniel says it's wrong, it's wrong. Like I don't know, but that's kind of the important part about voicing your opinion, right? If it's wrong and I don't say anything because I don't know, it's never going to get fixed. So criticism is important, right? Like I know people are like, you guys are all hypercritical and nothing's ever good enough. And it's like, you know, maybe we are a little hypercritical, right? But like, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. As long as you're respectful about it, right? You're not fucking, like Keco said, criticize the product, not the person making it. It's fine, right? Like, you could be
as you voice your displeasures for these things, or I know we were talking about some of the garments or some of the things that don't make it actually into production, then okay, that's fine. You didn't win that battle. Just move on to the next one. As you are free to say as much as you want, and people will probably give you hard times on some of them they won't. But that's just part of the thing, and just roll with it.
Yeah, and if I have an opinion on something and I'm a fucking goober, no one's gonna fucking listen to me anyway, so you get the last laugh anyway, right? Like, it's like
when it comes to games, I'll never listen to you again about games, James.
These are like the first ones that I did.
Oh, about
wait,
games?
what'd you say?
When it comes to games, I'll never listen to you again because
okay, sorry about that.
Because you got to trust me, Kiko. That's why you got to trust me in the 3 games.
I'm not talking about Daniel in a bad way, chat. I'm saying like he's very vocal about what he is expecting from InArt, and it's like, hey, like those are two characters, Superman and the Joker. I don't know anything about. Like, if you say it's wrong, it's probably wrong. I'm not I don't love those characters like some people do. So yeah, voice your opinion. And like I said, if you're or someone else, if you don't like what they're saying, just ignore them, and chances are like everyone else is going to ignore them anyway. And
we're always one.
What's happening with your hair right now?
Oh, well, they're putting the different what is this called, Bubs?
Bleach.
They're putting the actual bleach on, because once they bleach my tips, they'll be able to guy light it and put the toner on, all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, someone said you had the Darth Maul haircut.
No, because the difference would be is that usually they apply it with this brush, like the entire head, but I'm not doing this part, as I said. They're just doing the top. And in order to do that, you have to kind of do it by hand. So,
dude, I wish I could bleach my hair like that, but
well, you bleach that wig now.
You don't have Han Solo hair.
No. What was I saying before that?
I don't know. Something really good.
Oh yeah, that is that when it comes down to, and like I'm not being heard, or I'm getting tired of talking about the way the news works. You are one news story away. You're about 2 weeks away till no one ever talks about something again. And that's just the way it is. We live in that world to where things just move at such a rapid pace. The attention span of everybody.
It's funny you bring that up, because I felt weird talking about the InArt Superman.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
But,
well, guys, great thoughts on that one. Great conversation. Kiko's hair is progressing really nicely, so I'm happy to see what's going on. I think it's really developing rather quickly. So yeah, guys, you guys are getting a free show of Keco. Natalie G's in the chat. Shout out to Natalie G, by the way. But
we should take this, download it, and do like a time lapse or whatever of this to show like how it all worked.
Yeah, exactly how the process works. Exactly. I think that's pretty awesome, dude. So, guys, we got time, I think, for one or two more topics. Let's get into this real quick. Let's talk about something that we have. This is not a reissue topic, as far as I'm aware. Chat's gonna have to let me know. But I don't think this is a reissue topic because I thought about this about a week ago, but we didn't have time to talk about it. But today we do. Do we underestimate and do we underappreciate third-party figures? And yes, Dean, this does include game toys and Final Fantasy VII figures because that is the only thing you collect, and I know that's what you care about. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we got to talk about this because there were some photos that were shared around, and I was actually for all those people who are upset with me about my Han Solo take, maybe you can take some solace in the fact that I was wrong about this Sauron, apparently. Because I said this figure was ass when it was announced and the pre-order was put up. And apparently, well, he's fucking massive for one. Look at the InArt Gandalf next to him. That's pretty fucking cool. But I said this figure looked like ass, and it actually turned out, I'd say, pretty decent. That's the Weta statue compared to it. There's just one example. We can talk about any number of third-party figures. But looking at this third-party Sauron, this is made by Dragon Toys. So this is not someone I'm familiar with. I'm not sure who this company is. It's probably Toys Era. Everyone's Toys Era. We might as well just assume that at this point. But do we underestimate and underappreciate these third-party companies? Because we don't always talk about them a lot. So Kiki, I got to ask you the question. You got a Ravenclaw, and it's an absolute grail, and you reviewed it. So, and the reviews are grail also by extension. Do we underestimate these third-party companies and what they're capable of sometimes? What do you think?
Don't you dare bring up that video, by the way.
I'm going to bring it up, dude.
Don't. So I am very butthurt, and I'm going to rant because I saw this topic on our list like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, finally, because I'm mad and I need to talk about this.
Oh, okay. Talk about it.
Because no, the fuck they can't be trusted. Because I am so disappointed in the Future Warrior, the re-release or release of the Battle Damage Terminator. That was such a bait and switch. That is what they do. And they will put out these incredible product photos to get you to pre-order it. Then it comes into your like actual living abode and it falls apart and it doesn't look the way it's supposed to be. Or you find out that they cut corners. You want to talk about Hot Toys cutting corners? My God, the things that they do to get the prices down. Now, you may be able to say, wow, I'm looking for the ball on a budget. Then sure, but know that you're getting half-ass quality and it's not going to turn out the way you think it is. Case in point, the absolute thievery of the Wolverine, the 1973 version that this other random company just put out today that literally stole the exact same head sculpt. But wait, they're giving you two other new head sculpts they designed that look nothing like Hugh Jackman at all. But they did steal the Hot Toys one and recast that one. I think 95% of all these third-party companies are all unlicensed and they're stealing the intellectual property. And that's another issue I have issue with. And I'm sorry, I've just been burnt too many times by mid-ass figures. And they're placeholders until you get the real deal. And maybe it's just I'm salty because I wanted that Battle Damage Terminator and I'm gonna have to probably pay up for a real one. But for me, hell no.
So Keco, you've been burned, so now you're anti-third party, it sounds like.
Yes, because they really do stand out like a sore thumb in your collection compared to the other ones.
They can if they're ass, but you got to pick the right ones. Yeah. They can if they're not good, like Ravenclaw, but other ones, yes, you can find the good ones in the needle.
I mean, the Toys Era Fiend, the Ock, those are okay for sure. But to say that they are superior to any of the Hot Toys versions, once you actually have them, that's a silly take.
What about Mars Toys Prank Villain? That was one of the
that's still
best
not
figures
licensed,
released
though.
last year.
I understand that, but it's still not licensed. And the Keaton, I think they just did the Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne. I still don't think that looks like the other one. And I really do want that like painted face, Joker, whatever they called that one, the Nicholson Joker. It looks good, no doubt about it. And I have plenty of third-party figures, but to say that you need to worry about them or that they're competing by any means is not anywhere close.
Yeah, well, I will say Game Toys, though, however, which shameless plug here. I will say those are pretty good, Dean. I mean, look at this lineup here. That Red 13, that was not Game Toys, as Dean knows. It's a VS Toys statue. But, Dean, what do you think? I mean, there are a lot of different third-party companies. It's hard to lump them all together in one big group, but just in general, do we kind of underestimate them and underappreciate them for what they do? What do you think?
Yes and no. I think And I think for the most part, in my experience, I usually have a pretty low expectation because I know it's third party. You know, it's usually fucking half the cost, if not more, than like a actual license figure. I know it's probably not going to be that great. So when I get it, I'm actually like, oh fuck, that's actually pretty nice. Like, I actually was not expecting how nice this figure turned out. So I'm a little more surprised than usual, and I feel like if you have those low expectations, then you're more likely to give third parties a shot or appreciate them a little bit more. But most people like to go off of like and I've been guilty of it too. The pre-order photos. Oh, that looks fantastic. I'm gonna pre-order it. Third parties are usually never as good as their
pre-order photos, blogger photos.
The prototypes.
Prototypes, yeah.
Because the prototypes are usually not their sculpt, right? It's the sculpt they're gonna steal, and they put it on a figure and hey, call it a day. But it's not their quality of work that's about to come your way. Sometimes it is. Sometimes. But yeah, I think you can have that conversation on another time about stealing head sculpts and the moral choice there. But for some figures that don't have sculpt like this one that didn't exist before, right? I would say like that was a pretty solid figure. Usually like So-So Toys is a pretty safe bet. Mars Toys is proving themselves. Wasn't usually the case, but they're getting better.
Yeah.
Game Toy, I honestly don't understand how the fuck Game Toys creates the quality of shit they do, because dear God, it's so much nicer than licensed shit that I own. It's unreal. Like the quality that Game Toys produces a figure. Now they've gotten pretty expensive because I think they know it. Like, oh, people fucking buy this anyway. It's like, God damn, like,
right.
The first Cloud to Advent Children Cloud, that's a huge price increase. I think the first Cloud, just the solo box, was only like 160, 180 bucks maybe.
Right.
And now he's like as much as like a fucking license figure. So it's like, okay, I guess. But and I've also gotten some third-party figures that are just trash. That it's like, how much did I spend on this? This was not worth the fucking box it was shipped in, So it's tough. Like Keco said, burn too many times, but I've also been surprised a lot of times. So I don't know. I think they're appreciated just enough, right? That you're cautious, or you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, Zach in the chat, so shout out to Zach and all the other people in the chat.
Hey.
Keco getting a haircut on air is God tier. Yeah, it is. It's a major flex, bro. It's a major flex. Never been done in 1/6 before. So
I hope it's not too distracting, honestly, and I appreciate everyone that's put up with it. But
it's not, dude. It's been really fucking entertaining, honestly, finding out like how this is going to progress, and it looks great so far. You got really the Night King look going on, as Natalie said in the chat. So,
Alistair brings up a good point.
Yeah,
third party also makes figures that licensed companies aren't giving us.
It's true.
Like Hot Toys made Thanos. Everybody wanted everybody else to go in his little whatever, his Kilo crew, whatever the fuck they're called.
The Black Order. Come on.
Yeah, her. And
right.
They wouldn't make them for whatever reason. And a bunch of third-party companies were like, for fuck it, we'll do it. Are they the best figures on the world? No, but if you wanted to fill that display, now you can. So yeah, third party, they pick up the slack, which is cool. They filled a niche that is there for collectors who really want it. So I think it's great.
It's true. Well, guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on that topic. That was a fun one. That was definitely a fun one. And Keco's hair, like I said, is progressing very nicely. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to end up. I think we had one more super chat, and then we'll hit one more topic and then end it. We got Anarchy Bronze. Thank you so much, bro. 279. Pull up Blade Present Toys. Hot Toys did it better. That was one I think I just showed, the Blade Present Toys one. Yeah, the Hot Toy, I think it was pretty old, the Hot Toy one. But are you saying the Hot Toy one did it better? It sounds like he is, but But yeah, I mean, that one's pretty old school, but maybe there'll be another blade at some point. I don't know. So Zach's asking, is Keco getting his tips frosted? He is actually. He's getting the guy lights, he calls them.
The guy lights.
Yeah. So guys, let's talk about this because we got to bring up this whole J&D thing, this InArt thing. We have these 4-packs, we have these Armory 2-packs, and all this other stuff in between. So we're talking about the idea of like these figures are starting to get to statue prices, right? And I want to ask the question. All of us here are primarily, although we collect other things, Keco and I have statues, Dean has statues, we have other scales. We primarily collect 6 scale. And I think there's a reason for that. We like the realism that it offers. We like the ability to articulate the figures. We like the engagement they offer, the display options they offer when you have them all together, all that good stuff. But the prices are starting to get into statue territory. And statues, if we're being real about it, statues inevitably always realistically have more presence. They're bigger. A lot of times they can be more detailed. There's a bigger canvas to work with. So why are we committed to 6 scale when the prices are starting to creep to statue levels? That's my question. Because yes, we love both, but what's keeping us in 6 scale despite the prices going to pretty astronomical, unheard of points for the majority of collectors who are not collecting custom figures? So Keco, let's start with you here. Why are we committed to 1/6 scale figures, you think, even though the prices are getting pretty high at this point?
It comes down to your display options for sure, because if you've we all know that probably the DTOF was the definitive collector's entry-level cabinet, whatever you want to call that. And that was built for a 6 scale figure. So if you got into the hobby and you have all those displays that are glass, I mean, unless you're switching to something else like a module space or build your own, I mean, you're kind of confined to that size. But to find something that's going to display a statue, you pretty much have to have a custom build or something that is for that, or just put it on a shelf or there's only so many display options when it comes to that. So I think your display really does limit what you can do. Now, for me, I said, okay, well, I do want to have some of these bigger shelf stealing pieces and, head turners once you walk into the room. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to build a custom display for that. But I think a majority of people, including myself, I said, well, I'm this deep into it. Why would I change scales now? And when I don't consider the statues necessarily to be, they're their own thing. They're their own type of collectible. Going to a different scale, because when I started with like 6-inch, like I guess that's 12 scale, whether that be Vesco's, SH Figure Arts, I graduated to 6 scale and I said, this is the size I'm comfortable with. And I think it gives you the best bang for your buck. And it was so jarring when I switched over to get a couple quarter scale figures, like, I don't like this. This is not good for me. And I don't think it's worth the value, and it's taking up shelf real estate. I don't like this. And so I think when you find what's good for you, it kind of just is hard to get out of that mold. And as I said, if you have the DTOF and that's your display, or the Billy bookcase, you're limited to a 6 scale thing. You're not putting an XM statue in any of those things. So yeah, I think that's what you have to think about.
And I think so, Keco, I would be willing to bet from what you said, and I see some comments in the chat here. I think most of us got into 1/6 scale collecting because of Hot Toys and the realism that they've offered. Now, InArt and J&D and other companies have jumped in. 3-0 has been doing some great work here and there. These companies have offered something that's very realistic, and then now we're all in that 6 scale realm, so we don't want to leave. It's like buying a Canon or a Nikon camera. They got you in the ecosystem, you want to stay. Or you buy Apple products, they got you in the ecosystem, you're going to stay. It's just simpler. So it's that's part of the 1/6 scale journey for most people too. But I think they got in because of the realism, all that considered. So Dean, what do you think? I mean, why are you committed to 1/6 scale at the end of the day? Like, what are they offering that's still keeping you in?
Yeah, I like to be able to mess with my figures, right? Like, right. Change the pose, change the portrait, swap the hands, do something different. With statues, you're literally locked into one single display option. Also size, those statues are fucking huge. I have the Prime 1 3rd scale punchline behind me.
Yeah.
I literally had to buy a whole new desk to have a place to display her properly. I also have the 3rd scale Guts from Berserk, who's way fucking bigger than, a tiny, whatever, how tall Punchline is. Guts is like a 7-foot dude. So in 3rd scale, that's a big fucking statue. We also have my sister bought it, the It's the quarter scale Nosferatu Zod from Berserk.
Ooh,
Came in
okay.
2 boxes, the sizes of washing machines.
That's the way my Venom was for sure.
Yeah,
They're
dude, that Keco Venom is
it-
fucking huge. Yeah.
It is huge. It's still sitting in the box. Like we don't really have a
Damn.
place for it. It's like
Dude.
$5,000 is just sitting there because it's like, what the fuck do we do with this fucking thing? It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's literally like massive, dude. And that's what Keco said. All the people who want the N1, he was right about that. I mean,
yeah, it's man, the N1 in 6 scale would be fucking
still
what,
be huge. Yeah.
10 feet long or something. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be
Well, I mean,
crazy.
just think of the Batwing and how big that was. People were taking a whole wall and displaying it on the wall. So
yeah, because the N1 is long. It's got those little
Yeah.
spindly bits.
I think they said it's 6 feet long
Yeah, that's crazy.
or something along those lines. Maybe 4 feet. I forget.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you put on a wall, but it's gonna take up your whole wall. But yeah, 6 scale, it's a great scale because it's big enough that you can see it at a distance and still appreciate the details.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you had a whole shelf of like Marvel Legends, like it's just colors start to bleed together and form, you can't see forms that is but 6 scale still gives you that. So yeah, just kind of like the perfect scale. It is very expensive though, and those prices start creeping up. You start buying less and less. So
It's true. But it
Yeah.
sounds like, I mean, price is always an important consideration for all of us, but it sounds like space is almost even more of a consideration. Because I see
I fully believe that.
You know what I mean, Keiko? Because I see that in the chat, and I see a
Yep.
lot of people saying
Space
like
is the limit.
it's the space that it's associated with the statue. Like, for example,
Because you
this
can
Joker-
always save up money. You can't save up space. Once it's gone, it's gone.
It's true. Yeah, and it's true. I mean, like, for example, I always bring up the Last of Us statue with Joel and Ellie from Prime 1, right? That's about, like, I think it's like, what, $2,000, $2,100? So it's a little bit more than these Joker figures, but even then, that statue, one statue, is going to take up a lot of room. So it's, it's quarter scale, but it's a lot of height. That's the thing, height and depth and all that shit.
yeah,
So-
height and depth, and yeah.
And you got to have the cases for it. I mean, when I got these Module cases, for sure, the most expensive parts by far were the statue ones because they're fucking huge. Like compared to the 6 scale cases, they're, reasonable size, but the statue cases are very expensive and big. So it's just, you got to display them properly. You got to think about the space. So if this Joker 4-pack, even though it's almost $2,000, it's much more reasonable in terms of space, requirements compared to a statue for most collectors, unless you're a statue collector. So yeah. And also Ekwan's right. The shipping prices for sure. 100%. The shipping prices of statues have gotten pretty fucking wild. I think 100% that's a great point. So thanks, Ekwan, for that. Anyway, guys, that is it. We're going to wrap it there right around 7 o'clock, 6:57 p.m. Thank you guys so much for joining. We didn't get to see the end of Kiko's haircut, but right now he's still got the frosted Night King look, but it looks pretty great, Keco. So guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Check out any recent videos. I posted some previews of Han Solo and J&D and a recent video about how realistic are Hot Toys, which I gush about how great Hot Toys are. So that's pretty great. And Kiko's got a video dropping in like 30 minutes, Keco. Is that right?
Oh, no. Like 30 seconds almost.
30
It goes
seconds. It's dropping at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, 7
6
Eastern,
o'clock
as you would say.
Okay,
Yeah, 6
yeah,
o'clock
okay.
my time. So
Cool.
as soon as we get done here, please make sure to go check that out because it's what to expect as a collector. We go through the 5 things to be expecting, and it may not be what you are expecting. So something to think about there. So yeah, please check that out. The TikToks, the threads, all that. And I do mean it. If this was weird for y'all to see people run around the back or the noises, I appreciate everyone being so patient and understanding because it's going to turn out good. So I'll let you know how the product finally turns out at the end.
I think it was pretty great, dude. I think people had a great time with it. So, and guys, make sure you follow Keco on TikTok because he's at 1,000 subscribers now. And he can live stream there now. So
Yay.
I think it's pretty exciting. Isn't that exciting, Dean? I think that's awesome, bro. Because he's anyway, we're gonna move on, Dean. So thanks so much, bro. Thanks to Keco and showcasing everything. Dean, what's coming up on Collecting Weekly, man? You guys got some banger content always over there.
Yeah, we're playing Baldur's Gate 3 tomorrow. I hope it's tomorrow. That game's fucking so fantastic. So we do that live, usually about 4 or 5 hours if you feel like sitting there watching it live. Then Monday, I don't know if we're doing anything on Monday. We're taking Mondays off now.
Okay.
We used to do unboxings every Monday, and eventually you run out of shit to unbox. So I'm not sure we have one this week. The Tuesday we got our main show, talking about the things that matter the most to us that week in collecting. Sometimes most of the time it's six scale news, but you know, just
Nice.
whatever we want to talk about that week. Sometimes it's 3 3/4 inch Star Wars Black Series, like just whatever. So and then Wednesday we have After Dark, where we just hang out and talk about our lives, trials, and tribulations. So it's a
Nice.
good time. It's a good time.
You guys got an all-star cast over there, so I appreciate all of you guys on Collecting Weekly. Check out Collecting Weekly. Those guys are absolutely great. Just awesome dudes, great content. So you guys are going to love it over there. So yeah, that's going to be really exciting. We got one more thing to just bring up real quick here before we go. This had to be shared. This was literally epic.
Once upon a time,
I don't know if I can bring up the volume on it. Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go.
Prince lived in a
I don't know if you guys
shining
saw
castle.
this, how good this was.
Although he had everything his heart desired, the prince
you see this,
was
Dean?
spoiled, selfish, and unkind.
Keco
But
gave a
then,
voiceover to Beauty and the
One
Beast.
winter's night, an old beggar woman came to the castle and offered him a single rose in return for shelter.
You guys got to watch it though. Check out Keco on TikTok. But he posted on Instagram. I was like, dude, that was fucking good, man. That was really good. Like literally, the voice was like, I haven't watched Beauty and the Beast for a long time, but it felt like the real thing.
Just trying something different.
Dude, it's really cool. It needs more mukbang, but in its current state, it's still pretty good. So it needs more crunching and chewing and all that stuff. So, but yeah, guys, check that. See, Mark Attack said, I got hot and bothered listening to this. See, exactly, bro. 100%. Yeah. So go sub to Keco, Mark. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out these guys and their channels. Check out the recent content posted here. And let us know if you have any thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much. Enjoyed you guys being here. We'll see you. Peace out. See you later.